Welcome to the Strategic Cybersecurity channel brought to you by NKFP. If you are new here, thanks for tuning in. We are glad to have you. Today, we are going to talk about the profit centers of traditional banks in Central Africa. People may ask, here you are talking about cybersecurity at the strategic level. Why are you talking about the profit centers of traditional banks, especially in Central Africa? The reason is simple. It's based on the definition of cybersecurity. Let's define cybersecurity once more. Cybersecurity is all about understanding, managing, mitigating the risk of our critical data being disclosed, altered, or denied access to. And on top of that definition, I can add one more. Who is the person who is going to lay out the cybersecurity strategy within an organization? That person is the CISO. The CISO is an executive who is responsible for the cybersecurity strategy of the organization. It's an executive who is responsible for the cybersecurity strategy of an organization. Based on this definition, you understand that cybersecurity is all about managing the risk of our critical data. The critical data is linked to the profit centers of organizations. Why? Because we need to understand why the organizations are in business, how do they make money. And if you want to know how an organization makes money, you need to know what are the profit centers of this organization. That is the main topic of this video today. We are just going to present the top 5 profit centers of traditional bank in Central Africa. It's a long series. We are going to talk about it for other parts of Africa and other parts of the world, and to make a comparison at the end. But today, let's focus in our main focus will be Central Africa today. One of the first profit centers, one of them is the retail banking. Basically, it's consumer banking. So you have saving, current accounts, personal loans, credit card, and mortgages. What is the kind of revenue traditional bank with this segment? How do they make money? They make money using interest income, account and transaction fees. A second profit center is the corporate and small and medium enterprise banking. Basically, banks, they are giving loans in this segment to companies working with capital, trade finance, and treasury management. What are the source of revenue in this segment? The source of revenue are you have interest income, fees on loan, cash management services. So we already talked about retail banking, corporate and SME banking. We can add on top of those two trade finance, and export and import banking. Why? Because a lot of companies in Central Africa, they rely on importing and exporting commodities. So here, they will use letters of credit, guarantees, and what what are the main revenue here? We have the commission and fees on trade instruments. The fourth one is government securities and treasury management. Especially in the Central African region, government issue bonds and treasury bills. So banks, it's a huge investment in CEMAC government bonds and treasury bills. And how do they make money here is through interest income and capital gains. So we already talked about retail banking, corporate and SME banking, trade finance, export and import banking, government security and treasury management. The last profit center we're going to talk about is mobile and digital banking. Basically, you have mobile money. What are the kind of service in this segment? Mobile money, digital wallets, and online banking. And how do they make money here is through transaction fees, mobile money float, and service charges. Let's recap. Some of the profit center for traditional banks in Central Africa. We talk about retail banking, corporate and SME banking, trade and finance and export-import banking, government security and treasury management, mobile and digital banking. Why is it important to understand that? Is that you cannot lay out a strong cybersecurity foundation for an organization if you don't understand how the organization make money. This is critical for a CISO. A CISO must understand how the organization make money so that he can lay out a cybersecurity strategy that is going to be a business enabler for the organization. Thank you.